Hello and welcome to this video on CSS overflow property. The overflow property is used to define or specify what happens to an element if it overflows its container. I'll show you an example. I've got my web page on the right here and my CSS and HTML code on the left. This image here is an example of an overflow. It has overflown its container. The image is embedded inside the container, and also there are text inside that container. So this is the div that houses the image and the text. So as you can see, the image is outside the box. So the div here, I've given the div a border, hence the blue box, and it's also got a width, the style, and the color. What we are interested in here is this image here. We want this image to fit inside the box. We want to remove the overflow, and the property you need to remove that overflow is called the overflow property. And there are a few values you can use with the overflow property. You can specify to be visible. Visible means you can see the overflow. Hidden means the overflow is hidden, it's clipped, and the rest of the content becomes visible inside the container. You can set the value to scroll. That means the overflow is clipped, but you can set a scroll bar so you can see the rest of the content. You can also set it to auto. What auto does is that once the overflow has been clipped, you can now create a scroll bar to see the rest of the content. That depends on what content you have. If you have lots of content that even after you've clipped the image you still can't see, a scroll bar is created so that enables you to see the rest of the image. So to remove the overflow from this div, we'll use the overflow property, and we're going to use the auto value. What this will do, it will clip it and force it to contain inside the div. So this .clearFix here is the class, which is the class I was specified here. So this becomes the selector, and the property for the selector here is the overflow, and the value I've set for the overflow is auto. So what this will do, it will automatically clip the image and force it to fit into the container, and then in some cases it can create a scroll bar if there are lots of content, and enables you to see the rest of the content once the image has been clipped into the container. So if I refresh this, you'll see the image now is now inside the container. If I had lots of text here or another content that you couldn't see that's hidden, a scroll bar is also created that enables you to scroll and see the rest of the content. So this is how you would use the auto value with the overflow property. Another value you can use is hidden. Hidden does the same thing. What it does, it hides the overflow and forces it to go into the container. So it does the same thing, it achieves the same objective as the auto. The only difference between the hidden and the auto is that with the auto, if there's lots of content after the image has been forced into the container, it gives you a scroll bar so you can scroll and see the rest of the content. Another value you can use with the overflow property is the scroll. So if I save that, you see what that does. You see, so what that does, it creates a scroll. Because I've only got limited content, if I had lots of content, it creates a scroll. See these arrows here, it enables you to scroll down and scroll sideways. That's what the scroll does. If it puts the overflow into the container and also creates a scroll on the vertically and horizontally to allow you to see the rest of the content either sideways or vertically. All right, I've set it back to hidden. The most common values you would see developers using with this overflow property is either hidden or auto, because the other properties, other values you can use with it include visible, initial, which sets the property to the default, and then inherit. Inherit, this means it will inherit from the parent element, but the most common values you will see people using is either hidden or auto. So in this video, we went through what the overflow property does, and we also went through some of the values that can be used with the overflow property. So the main function of the overflow property is to remove overflow from the elements container, and you can use several values with it: visible, hidden, scroll, auto, initial, and inherit. Initial just sets the value to how it was, that is the original state before the overflow was removed. And then scroll enables you to scroll the rest of the content left or right. It creates a scroll bar vertically and horizontally. Hidden hides the overflow and fits the rest of the overflown element into the container. And visible allows you to see the overflow before any changes has occurred. So visible means it's in its original state, it's overflown. So this is how you would use the overflow property. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the video has made sense. Take care and bye for now.